Hey guys, welcome back to an episode 12-inch Figure Fanatic. Remember to subscribe. So today we're going to be opening up the Eternal toys. I've never had a figure from this company. This is the Cat Lady, otherwise known as Catwoman, but for licensing purposes, obviously there's a name change here. We're also going to be doing a side-by-side comparison with a custom that I've had for quite some time. So let's take a closer look. So there's a few different versions of this, well, should I say makers of this figure floating around out there. This is the most recent one that just got released. I also have Jazz Inks on pre-order. Now everybody is after that one because it is the most realistic, high-quality version of the Catwoman that is being produced to date, other than small batch or custom figures that are floating around out there. That one even has a LED lit up background with neon lighting. So we're all looking forward to that. I hope I get it at some point soon. This one, it's the deluxe version, so we're also going to be opening up another box that came with it. So far, so good, at least compared to the one that I've had. And we'll, like I said, we'll do the side-by-side of that shortly. So far, there's some interesting loose strands that'll have to be tamed a little bit. Probably put some hair gel in there to tame the strand down a little bit. So let's start with the head sculpt. And it looks okay. You could tell it's her. There's something slightly off, probably with the nose. Maybe it's a little bit too round. The eyes look a little basic, decent enough on the makeup too. I like the smirk she has going on, but it's almost as if the face is too round as well. Maybe the jawline's not defined enough. It's all a single sculpt. We got the gloss on the leather portions. The stitching is done pretty nicely. And then you've got some tear away of the mask here as well, with the skin revealed. Same thing on this side. Looks like the clothing fits okay. I don't like this. They should have painted the pegs of the hands black as well, so this isn't exposed. So this is something I'm going to want to go and do it after I finish this video, because I hate the way that's exposed. But I will say that the outfit looks nice and tight, which is inhibiting the movement somewhat. So like when I try to bend the arm, that's as far as it goes. And the stiffness of the material, the thickness of it, is preventing it from going any further. You'd want to be careful how you pose this as well, so that you don't cause any permanent creasing. Same thing down here. If you stretch this out, put her in an extended pose, you could expect that there to be some looseness of the material that stays. I do like how they did the stitching, though, with the exposed skin underneath. That's very nice. The boots are decently done. Slight sloppiness in the metal portions, but at least this is one single. It's made out of material, and who knows how this will hold up over time, this fake leather. But there's also, because of the material, less flex in the ankle. You can't really do too much with it. And then there's plastic heel glued to the bottom here. You've got the zipper on the back, and this ties off. Also need to tame the strands here as well. But I do like the body type that they went with here. Yeah. The biggest complaint here is the dexterity, or lack thereof, in the arms. Same thing on the knees too. Boy, yeah, it doesn't go. Not too much posable options here with this. You can't have her in like a kneeling pose, for instance. But appearance-wise, definitely pretty good. Let's take a look at the rest. So you got tons of hands options here. And they've all got claws on them. Not too bad at all. Some necklaces. Interesting. I don't understand the significance of that. But they're like, I don't know, craft friendship bracelets that a kid might put together. Got a base, very basic base. No logo on it, no Batman Returns, no Catwoman, no Cat Lady even. We're used to seeing this style. No nameplate. I prefer even a bear nameplate so that I could customize it and put a name on there. Oh well. Got her rope, and it seems to be made out of the same material as her costume. Stitched very nicely, though. Look at the braiding on that. And I think this shouldn't be a single strand at the end, but maybe a few strands on a whip. And then it's pegged off at the end. Very nicely done, though, and it's got enough flex to it. I'd prefer they had put a wire in it, actually, so that you can have a little bit of a posing option to it, have it maybe, little action pose with it, like it's going through the air. Got her cat. Probably a little too glossy, but that's easily fixed. Quick spray of some matte finish. Detailed enough. Could use a little more gloss in the eyes. All right, and that's it with the figure. Now let's open up the second box, because this is the deluxe version, and the only thing that separates this from the regular version is this extra accessory. Ugh, I hate styrofoam. It gets messy. Okay, boy, this thing is heavy. Oof. So it's a solid sculpt. And, man, they could have made this hollow and probably chosen a different material. Yeah, so it's probably a resin. Painted nicely, though. They could have weathered it a little bit to give it some additional depth on all of the sculpted decor on the sides. And I would have preferred, actually, that this was a little bit more plush, that they actually used cloth, maybe wrapped some foam for the cushions. Probably would have cost a lot more, though. Now, a big complaint about this chair is that that she didn't need it, because there wasn't a chair in the film. It's been a while since I've seen Batman Returns, so I can't be sure if that's true. I do remember her like lying down in a seductive pose. It could have been on a bed. It could have been on a chair. So certainly, if you know, leave in the comments. And then you've got this polar bear rug that I guess you could put in front, or you can drape it over the side here. And that's pretty much it with the bonus item. So let's get this set up and do a side-by-side with my custom, and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, so here's a side-by-side with my custom that I have. So this one obviously has a nicer base to it. It's just it's a similar base to the other one, but it has the plaque piece right here, and then also some stickers, the Batman Returns logo sticker, and then the nameplate. But definitely a difference in the bodies. The custom one is definitely too thick. The bodysuit is a little too loose. Now the material, I am impressed, has held up over time. I've had this for quite a few years now. The legs are too thick, and the shoes are not. Oh, I don't have the head sculpt affixed, as you can see, just for display purposes. The shoes, the heels aren't high enough, and as a result, the foot isn't raised high enough as well. It doesn't look as much like a high heel. Definitely not as sexy as the other figure. But looking at the head sculpts side by side, let's take a closer look here. Definitely better likeness in the head sculpt on my custom. The other one is lacking, and as you can see, it's definitely in the nose. You'd want the nostrils exposed, I guess, a little bit better. And I do like how the mask comes away right under the eye here. They didn't do that on the Eternal one. The skin tone is probably a little too pale on my custom, but other than that, the sculpt is definitely improved. But yeah, what I probably do is keep the head sculpt from the custom, and then just sell the old body with the new head, and keep this one on the shelves until the new one from Jazz Inc. comes eventually. I do like how the cat comes with this one. It's, it looks nice sitting on the chair, for instance. I don't understand why the necklaces, but it is what it is. I guess I'd have to watch the movie again. Maybe she steals these necklaces. I don't know. I am impressed the way they did the hands, because there's quite a bit of flex so that you don't have to worry about breaking these nails off the tips of the fingers. It'd be impossible almost to break those off. So, scale of 1 to 10. I mean, for what you get, I didn't pay too much for this figure. I want to say maybe 220, 240, and that's the deluxe version once again. So I'm going to give this a score of 8.9. Lacking in the head sculpt. I don't like the exposed skin here. And I can push down the material to an extent, but there's still some exposure between the hand and the rest of the body. And then these frays that I've got to tame at some point. Also, now that I look a little bit closer, so the stitching around the rest of the costume is just kind of printed on, and the stitching is a little bit off-white, almost gray. I would have preferred it be white, like in my custom one. It gives a little bit nicer contrast. But other than that, yeah, pretty decent figure. If you didn't want to pay extra for the Jazz Inc. one that's coming out, this is a perfectly acceptable figure to have sitting on the shelves with the other Batman figures. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.